All right, guys, welcome to the show. This is a massive episode. We are talking about the top 10, count them, top 10 running backs here for fantasy football 2024. This is not your consensus, your consensus list. Last year, I left out Tony Pollard. Last year, I left out Austin Eckler. People thought I was crazy. Put that guy in a straitjacket. He's nuts. Guys, I'm the only one telling you the truth. This is the only honest list. This is not copy and paste. This is how they're going to potentially finish. This is not your grandma's consensus list. Guys, buckle up. It's one of my favorite episodes. We are deep diving. And before you dive into the comments, and I encourage everybody to dive into their comments, listen to the explanations. Once you listen and understand the reasoning, then you'll be like, oh, okay. Now it makes sense why he doesn't want Christian McCaffrey in the top 10 list. Oh, hold on. Christian McCaffrey's not on this top 10 list. This guy's lost all credibility. Oh my God. I'm the only one telling you guys the truth. Again, people thought I was crazy. Austin Eckler was not in my top 10 list. Tony Pollard was not in my top 10 list. I told you to avoid J.K. Dobbins, who was a 4th round pick last year. I told you to avoid Dalvin Cook, who was a 5th round pick last year. I told you to avoid Cooper Kupp, which was a 1st round pick last year, even though he's a wide receiver. Guys, I can see things before they happen. I'm the only one in the industry doing it. So, top 10 running backs. I'm excited to dive in. If you're new to the channel, I looked at the analytics. 70% have not actually clicked subscribe. So this video, you come across it, and you haven't hit subscribe. So hit that subscribe button, the only channel with the truth. Turn on the bell for NFL news, everything you guys need. We're talking top 10 running backs in this episode. Subscribe, thumbs up, and let's get to the truth. Let's get to the episode. Let's dive in to one of the best episodes, and I really enjoy this. The early top 10 running backs for fantasy football 2024. Let's go, Lion mentality. All right, guys, welcome to the show. We are talking top 10 running backs, non-consensus style. Excited to dive in each and every one of these players, explain why I love them. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on that bell, smash it, tap it, slap it, hit that thumbs up, guys. Show me that Lion mentality right now. Hit the thumbs up and grab a ticket to the Fantasy Sports Summit. It's a virtual summit. Some people are saying, well, I can't fly out. Guys, it's a virtual summit. Okay, you guys can come hang out with NFL athletes, have a chance for them to answer your questions. You're entered for a PS5 giveaway. I'm revealing 5 never revealed secrets to smash your 2024 drafts. Guys, this is going to be huge. Tim the Ball Guy is going to be there. Grab your summit ticket and grab the 16-round draft solution. 16 rounds is light years ahead of what the mainstream is putting out with their rankings. Grab the 16-round draft solution right now. Sleepers, breakouts, late round steals. Everything you need to have as close to a bulletproof roster as possible. Grab 16 rounds right now. You will be light years ahead of the sheep, okay? And grab a ticket to the summit. You're going to be, it's the ultimate fantasy experience, guys. I'm super excited. I can't contain the energy, all right? Fantasy football is back. Smash that thumbs up. Let's go. All right, I also got a bonus for you. So stay to the end. I got a bonus running back here for you that could finish in the top 10, okay? So I've got technically 11 running backs here, okay? We're going to count it down from 10 to 1. All right, so again, before you dive into the comments, listen to my reasoning, all right? Because the first one is going to shock a lot of people, all right? Let's go. And again, stay to the end. We're going to count down to 1, and I'm going to give you guys an honorable mention that's going to potentially finish in the top 10. So this guy's going to finish in the top 10. Let's go to it. First one, and he's coming to the Fantasy Sports Summit. That's why I asked him to come, because I believe in him, is Trey Benson. Whoa, Joe. Hold on a second. How do you have Trey Benson in the top 10? You're crazy. You're nuts. You're hysterically lunatic. You're a lunatic, Joe. Guys, Trey Benson is the top running back prospect out of the draft. He comes in and slides in as the RB1 in Arizona, who doesn't have an RB1. Well, you say, well, Joe, James Conner. Listen, James Conner sucks. He finished 18th last year. Joe, you're not making any sense. How could you do this? Yes, I understand it might be a couple of games to get him in the groove because they got to play the politically correct kind of mode. They got to say, oh, well, Connor's our guy, so we got to respect him, blah, blah, blah. BS. He sucks. He's 29 years old. Last year had the opportunity to be the one, just over 1,000 yards, 208 attempts. Guys, there's 333 attempts to be had. Benson is the top running back prospect out of the draft. He would have easily been a first rounder, but they knew that they can get this guy in the 3rd round. Running backs are just discounted in drafts. He ran a 4.39. The talent is there. The hunger is there. The youth is there. The upside is there. The ability is there. The catching ability. This guy's got tread on his tire. He wasn't overused in college. He is the #1 running back prospect out of this NFL draft. And there's other guys like Braylon Allen who's tucked away, which we're going to talk about later on. He was a round 4 pick. He's tucked away behind Breece Hall. Okay, we're going to talk about this, guys. We're going to talk about everything you're going to need to know here. Blake Corum, right? We're going to talk about it. But Trey Benson can easily finish as a top 10 running back. And here's the thing. He's value, dude. He is 40th amongst running backs. I'm getting this guy in round 8. Now, this is the thing. I'm going to be laying this out in 16-round draft solution. You don't, just because I'm telling you guys these are top 10, doesn't mean you have to draft them as a top 10 pick. Last year, perfect example, Sam Laporta. Everyone was telling you Sam Laporta's tight end 21. I said, just get him a round or two above his ADP and you've got yourself a tight end 1. This is the difference with 60 rounds in this channel. Nobody's telling you this, okay? Trey Benson, they think he's the running back too. Guys, youth, opportunity, high draft capital. Connor's 29, old, years to wow us, we're not wowed. Did you know this about James Conner? He has one 1,000-yard rushing season. He's in his 8th season. Guys, he is not good. James Conner had that one good year. He had like 15 touchdowns. Everybody drafted him early, remember? And then he got busted. Guys, Trey Benson can finish top 10. He's got that upside. But again, listen to what I'm saying. You don't have to draft him in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. People think he's going to be, the RB2. Let them think that. You're getting him for a value. He's got that top 10 upside. Does this make sense? Okay, guys? This is very, very, very important that you guys take this in, absorb this information, and then you guys can apply it for your fantasy football drafts, okay? Let's dive in. Let's keep going with this, okay? Next guy. All right. Is Tyjae Spears. Whoa, Joe, hold on a second. Tyjae Spears, top 10? Dude, guys, think about it. Where did Derrick Henry finish last year? Let's talk about this, okay? Derrick Henry had 280 attempts. And guess who the replacement is for Derrick Henry? Oh, can I answer that question? It's Tyjae Spears, everybody. Ding, ding, ding. Give that guy a prize. Tyjae Spears is primed, and he is Derrick Henry's replacement. And here's the thing. Similarly to people thinking James Conner is the one, delusional, they think that Tony Pollard is the one who was a backup for the years. Guys, let's use logic and common sense here, okay? Let's use logic and common sense because a lot of people in the industry are not doing it. And I want people to understand what I'm about to say, okay? Tyjae Spears was drafted in the 3rd round by the team that he's on. Okay, stick with me on the logic. So he already knows the offense. He knows the schemes. He knows the plays. He was trained behind Derrick Henry. Still managed to get 100 attempts, 453 yards, 4.5 yards per carry, a couple touchdowns, okay? With the king, Derrick Henry. There, the workhorse who hoarded away 280 attempts that only Derrick Henry can really do. One of the only running backs in the NFL that could do. Tyjae Spears was brought in the 3rd round, high draft capital as a guy to replace him, okay? And now they bring in a backup who had his chance to be an RB1 that everybody, the mainstream, told you to draft as the RB1, right? Fool me once, shame on, what is it? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Whatever. Fool me once, you get the whole saying, right? So they all fooled you to say, hey, you guys got to draft James Conner, or what's his name? Tony Pollard, round 1 last year. I'm like, dude, he's not even a true RB1. I'm going to say it again. Tony Pollard is not an RB1. I don't care what they paid. I don't care if they paid him $30 million a year. I don't care. They need depth at this position. They didn't have it, right? Tyjae Spears is, it's his 1st year kind of grabbing the bull by the horns, right? And he's coming to the Fantasy Sports Summit, so we're going to have a talk with him. Get your ticket below. Guys, he is in a prime position to succeed this year, okay? He is the replacement for Henry. He's going to get 250 plus attempts as a floor. He's got that top 10 upside, okay? And he's sitting as RB31. Dude, this is insane. The ADP of both Conner and Pollard is higher than Benson and Spears. Dude, it's like taking candy from a kid. It's taking candy from a baby, okay? I got a brand new newborn. Trust me, I know. Okay? If I want to take the candy bar, I'm like, can I have the candy? You guys get it. It's just an analogy. It's an old saying. All right? It's going to be easy, guys, to win your fantasy leagues because you're able to see this stuff. Now, here's another crazy thing. Let's go real quickly on wide receiver. Everybody's got Nico Collins as the wide receiver 1 on the consensus. They got Diggs right after him. They're confused. They don't even know what's what. There's no logic, guys, in their thinking. They're not going to help you win. Do you understand, guys? Okay? So, am I saying draft Tyjae Spears in round 1 or 2? No. You get him a round or 2 above ADP, and now you've got the RB1. It's so easy, dude. And if you don't have the RB1, you didn't spend a first-round pick, but you got a potential RB1. He is Derrick Henry's replacement. He's the more talented out of the. Pollard sucks, dude. Pollard is not a good running back. He was a 20, oh, back to that comparison. He was a 4th-round pick in 2019 by the Cowboys. So you're talking about a 4th-round pick versus a 3rd-round pick. Different teams. Was a backup for years. Pollard was. The edge is toward everything logically is gearing me towards Tajay Spears and away from Pollard. Okay, guys? So I got Trey Benson at 9. Wait till you guys see who my number 1 is, but also that bonus one I'm going to give you guys. So make sure you guys are following. Number 8 here. Let's keep moving along here. Going to rip through this. Is Kyren Williams. Now, I will tell you, Kyron's also coming to the Fantasy Sports Summit. I love him. Okay? I do have a problem with Kyren Williams. There is a chance he does not finish in the top 10. Obviously, injury is a big concern, but the way it sits now, I got to put him here. They drafted Blake Corum round 3. He's young, dynamic, he's fully capable, and he's going to be stealing a lot of volume. How much, we don't know. Now, the good thing towards Kyren Williams is he played 12 games, 228 attempts, 1,144 yards, 5 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns. Got it done in the receiving game as well, 3 receiving touchdowns, okay? So I look at Kyren Williams, and I see him doing so much with so little. He didn't play the full season. Assuming he plays the full season, we're looking at a lot of volume, but the Blake Corum factor is a factor. It's bothering me. They brought him in. They brought in Boston Scott. They got Ronnie Rivers, Zach Evans. I don't care. They're just depth pieces, right? But Kyren Williams, if given the reins, he starts off as the RB1, which I believe he should crush it. But Blake Corum will be a factor. There's no denying it. This is going to be annoying if you're a Kyren Williams owner. And just because I'm putting these guys in the top 10 doesn't mean I'm drafting them. I like the value of Spears and Benson than I do better than Kyren Williams, because you're end up spending a 1st-round pick. He's top 8 overall. He finished 8th overall amongst running backs. Sorry, he's 8th overall in the rankings amongst running backs on the Kinshipsis. And he is he's going to be coming off pretty much 8th overall, top 10 pick, okay? So you're going to have to pay for him. That's the problem. That is the problem. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to pay for him that much, knowing that Blake Corum was drafted with high draft capital and is going to be used, right? That's where I'm having the issue. Where I see it clearly with Benson, he's the young, dynamic guy, all those reasons. With Kyren, I'm going to have some issues here, okay? I hope he becomes the RB1. I hope Blake Corum is not a factor. But if you want the value, you get Blake Corum later. You avoid Kyren Williams in the 1st round, okay? That's the thought process. But the way it sits right now, I might change my mind a month or 2 down the road when I do my real final top 10. Make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the bell. The way it sits right now, I got to put Kyren here at number 8, okay? We're at number 7 here, okay? Is Josh Jacobs. Now, Josh Jacobs had a down year, finished 23rd last year amongst running backs, 13 games, 233 yards, 805 rushing yards, 3.5 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns, bunch of receptions. Josh Jacobs is in a great position. Dylan sucks. Now, the problem was I love this situation more prior to the draft. Now they spent the 3rd-round draft capital on Marshawn Lloyd, one of the top running back prospects out of this draft. More concern. And when you are looking at 1st-round talent, when you're drafting a running back early, and Josh Jacobs, man, he's probably going to come off. I see him as come off as early as round 3, but you're probably looking at a round 2 pick. You're looking at Josh Jacobs, who's sitting like number 10 right now on the Kinshipsis. He's good. The opportunity is there. The talent is there. But again, the Marshawn Lloyd factor is there. New offense is a factor there. So I have my question marks here with Josh Jacobs, but he's in a good position. Can he go back to what he did a couple years ago? We had that big year. Possible. But I do like him. I got to put him in the top. I can't take him out of the top 10 right now. I might change my mind. I got to see how things fizzle out. But if everything goes as planned, they invested high, or not high, but they paid him a lot, right? They believe in him. The Packers do, right? He got paid. He's incentivized. He's got to show what he's got. He's got to be a top 10 guy, okay? It's that simple. Number 6 here. Let's talk about Jahmyr Gibbs, all right? I really have a couple issues I have here with Jahmyr Gibbs. I really need to address this, okay? Montgomery's got to go away for me to be interested in him, right? Can finish in the top 10, but the problem is Montgomery. Montgomery is going to be a thorn. Montgomery is going to be annoying. Montgomery is going to bother me, okay? If Montgomery wasn't there last year, Gibbs would have easily finished as the #1 running back in fantasy, easily above Christian McCaffrey, with ease. And I'm talking total ease. Let's talk about the numbers. 182 attempts, 945 yards, 5.2 yards per carry, 10 touchdowns, 219 attempts for Montgomery. That is beyond annoying. Those attempts should be like at least 150 of the 219 that are going to Montgomery should be going to Gibbs. Another problem being a Gibbs owner last year, which I was, right? And the sheep were sleeping on him. The problem was every time the game started, every time they were on a drive, Montgomery would be there. I have to see his mug, his ugly mug. I don't like Montgomery. I completely dislike him. I don't care for him. And he's a real big pest. Okay, so if you're a Jahmyr Gibbs owner, you're going to be spending a first-round draft capital pick on a guy who's going to be coming out on, second and third down, maybe, and that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a significant problem when you're looking at Jahmyr Gibbs this year. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be an annoying thing. Even with that, he's got top 10 upside anyway, even with Montgomery there. But it still bothers me. I just don't know. And you say, well, Joe, even the guy like Trey Benson, all these guys are going to be in committees, and I get it. But I don't have to pay a first-round pick for Trey Benson. I don't have to pay a first-round pick for Tajay Spears. I don't have to pay a first-round pick for the guy I'm saving for the last as a bonus here, right? But a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs, he's expensive, and we know that Montgomery's coming out on the first drive. And that alone is going to be annoying. So just because these guys are in my top 10 and because they can finish top 10 doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to draft them, right? If you guys want to know who exactly I'm going to draft, grab 16 rounds. I've linked it below. Next guy here, okay? Number 5, I was kind of off on him a little bit, but more and more after the draft, I'm seeing things. I like him more and more. Is Derrick Henry for his last hurrah year. This guy's a workhorse. I understand his quarterback is a running back, but we're getting that everywhere. We're getting that with Hurts. We're getting that with Josh Allen. We're getting that with everywhere, right? But Henry is in a great position. He's still the king. He's still strong. He's durable. They don't have anybody else. Who do they have as a backup? Like Keaton Mitchell? Like, really? Come on, man. And he's sitting at what, number 12 on the Concheapsis? Number 12. Jahmyr Gibbs is number 4, very expensive, right? Henry's number 12. So I can get him second or third round, right? They just improved their offensive line. In the second round, they got one of the top offensive tackles out of the draft. So they improved their O-line, the Ravens did. They've got Derrick Henry, who's a workhorse. He's still the king. He's still going to get the volume. He's still primed. There's no committee there. I mean, why not? Why not? Believe in him for one more year. He's got to finish top 10. Barring any type of injury, got to put him here, okay? Last 4 here. Let's go. Last 4 running backs here. Guys, I'm super excited. Fantasy's back. Grab the 16-round draft solution. And again, I give you all the optimal players drafted in each round, omitting guys that could potentially bust. So it's not going to be based on ADP. Everybody's draft kit is based on ADP consensus, right? They told you Dalvin Cook round 5. They told you Mike Williams round 5 last year. This J.K. Dobbins round 4. The Tony Pollard round 1. Austin Eckler round 1. Cooper Kupp round 1. Devontae Adams round 1. And on. Nobody told you about Sam Laporta last year. No, nobody's going to be honest with you, all right? 16 rounds. Grab it below. Use code SMASH to save. All right, number 4 here, Jonathan Taylor. I just did an episode with Bounce Back Players with Tim. I have my question marks with Jonathan Taylor. Let's talk about this, okay? Jonathan Taylor, okay, here's the problem. He's been paid. He's making $14 million plus a year. So is the hunger going to be there? I don't think so. But he's in a great situation, no committee. He's been hurt the past couple of years. His best year was 2021. We had 333 fantasy points. Tim and I talked about this. I don't see that happening again. Anthony Richardson, quick fact here. The 4 games he played, he had 4 rushing touchdowns in the first 3 games. He's going to get a lot of rushing touchdowns, and that's going to be annoying if you're a Jonathan Taylor owner. It's annoying. Zach Moss last year hoarded away 183 attempts. Mind you, Taylor didn't play the entire season. He played 10 or 12 games or whatever it was. So Moss is gone. Taylor is now healthy and an opportunity to succeed. He's sitting as RB number 5. Guys, it's crazy. It's a wild one with Taylor, but I think this could be a big year for him potentially. I just would rather have some of the other guys ahead of him, the top 3 guys ahead of him, okay? Taylor, great opportunity. No committee in a league where there's committees everywhere. The quarterback's going to run a lot. He's been paid. He's been incentivized. He's been banged up. Do we trust him for a big bounce back? That's a 50-50. Nobody knows 100%. I may recommend him as a 16 rounder due to the fact that I do love the opportunity and the ceiling. and the potential and the talent, but I do have some uncertainty based on what we've seen the past couple of years. Okay, so he's number 4 still, because that's where he could potentially finish. Number three, guys, is Saquon Barkley. Now, I looked at some numbers here. Saquon Barkley was just on a terrible offense his entire career. He's shown flashes he could be outstanding, but just hasn't wowed us really the past couple of years. He's on a great offense. Now, you got to go back and look. Swift had 229 attempts. Swift did not finish the season. I think he played like 16 games in the past 3 seasons. He actually finished the season last year, okay? And he had a good one, a decent one, not amazing. 229 attempts, over 1,000 yards, 1,049 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns on the ground, bunch of receptions, 49 targets, 39 receptions, right? So he got involved in the receiving game. He got a bunch of volume, 229 attempts, and Saquon's a lot better. So if you're looking at a guy that was hurt his entire career, and Saquon's had his injuries, but Swift has more injuries, Swift managed to pull out a successful season and a campaign with the Eagles. That being said, Saquon's a far superior running back, and he's got an opportunity to get a volume with no committee. I'm not concerned about Shipley. Saquon is the guy, okay? But Shipley may be used. Saquon Barkley finished 13th last year. Now he's sitting as a top 6 running back. Opportunity is there. We saw again what Swift did. I love Saquon Barkley. Problem, though, aside from durability, is that we got to contend with the 15 rushing touchdowns with Hurts. He's going to be near the goal line, similar to Anthony Richardson with Taylor, right? But that's the kind of the price you pay. You don't have a committee, but you have the quarterback that rushes. Now, 15 rushing touchdowns, not going to happen again with Hurts. And a big part of that is Saquon Barkley, right? And such a high amount of rushing touchdowns. It's going to come down. So don't expect 15 rushing touchdowns from Hurts this year, but anticipate in the back of your mind that that could be a thorn, okay? So Saquon Barkley, number 3. Number 2, and again, I can't wait to give you that bonus one here as an honorable mention who could finish top 10. And there's other guys that can finish top 10, guys. It's fantasy. It's a wild west out here sometimes with uncertainty, but I'm projecting to kind of how it's going to be, right? But number 2 is Breece Hall. And you guys are going to know who my number 1 is, that obviously. But Breece Hall finished 2nd last year and got a slow start. He was kind of weaned in last year, didn't really kind of get going till a couple games, right? They brought in Dalvin Cook last year. Everyone's telling you draft Cook. I said avoid Cook. Cook had 67 attempts. Breece Hall, 223 attempts, 994 yards, 4.5 yards per carry. Touchdowns were low. I think he had like 5 touchdowns. Was involved heavily in the receiving game. He's going to eat this year. He is the man. They did draft Braylon Allen, round 4. Big guy, probably going to be a goal line guy at best. But if Cook wasn't a threat, I don't see Braylon Allen being a threat. He is there for depth to cover themselves in case of an injury, which is understandable. I don't blame the Jets for doing that. And they got Israel Abakanada. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. I butcher that type of name. But Breece Hall is in an absolute great position to succeed. He is the workhorse. He is the guy I'm looking at in round 1 because the explosiveness is there. The talent is there. The offense is there. They got Garrett Wilson. They got Aaron Rodgers potentially coming back healthy. This offense looks like they want to win a Super Bowl. And I say, well, Joe, how are they going to win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers? Dude, he had a great year back in 2020, right? I think that was the year, it was 2021, where he had like 48 touchdowns. We may get a good Rodgers. And that's another thing. Why are you guys down? Why is the mainstream down on Aaron Rodgers? You get him in the 9th round in fantasy, but you're so high on Garrett Wilson. Someone's got to feed Garrett Wilson, and it's Aaron Rodgers. So as a backup quarterback, sure, why not Aaron Rodgers? But listen, Breece Hall is in a great position to succeed. The talent is there. The youth is there. The explosive is there. And he finished 2nd amongst running backs last year, and he didn't even get started. He was kind of eased in. I think they used him conservatively, knowing that they didn't have a run. They couldn't have made a run. So I think his usage wasn't anywhere near where it could be. I'm seeing a 260-plus attempt type year out of Breece Hall and a potential top 10 finisher. Love the upside. And number 1 here, I could bounce back number 1 and 2. Again, stay to the end here because I do have an honorable mention that you definitely want to hear about. Number 1 is Bijan. Now you're saying, well, Joe, Bijan, why are you calling him that? I can't take you seriously. And why is he number 1? Well, it's very simple, guys. He's got no committee. Algier had 186 attempts last year. It was bad play calling by Arthur Smith. That's why he's gone. Arthur Smith should not be on any team. And I'm really concerned about Najee, who could finish top 10, but he's got Arthur Smith there. That's a whole other topic, man. but he really, really ruined the value of Bijan last year. Bijan looked great on every touch, looked amazing. Well, why are you calling him Bijan? B-I as in bi-weekly, right? And Jan as in Ran, R-A-N, as in Tan, T-A-N, Bijan. Everyone's mispronouncing it. It's completely rude. I don't see the word B-E-E. Do you guys see Bijan? Where's Jean? Is it B-E-E, J-E-A-N? No, it's not. Listen, it's Bijan. So Bijan Robinson, 214 attempts last year, just under 1,000 yards, 4.6 yards per carry. The sky is the limit, and he is by far the safest guy. They did actually get rid of Cordarrelle Patterson, which is great. They drafted a 6th-round guy. I don't even know if he makes a team, but Jace McClellan, round 6, not much of a threat. What didn't do much in college. He was a Bama running back. Bijan's still the guy. Algiers going to get worked in, but he's not going to get as much work. There's no way Algiers is seeing 186 attempts. He sucks. He's not good, right? Bijan's the man. They want to win this year. They brought in Kirk Cousins. They finally got a quarterback that could throw down the field and be a threat in the passing game. It's going to open things up for Bijan. He's going to get a ton of work, ton of goal line work. He is the man, and a clear-cut, no committee approach with Bijan Robinson. Everybody's going to have a committee. Everyone's going to have depth. But Bijan, the gap between, that's another thing when you look at these running backs, the gap between the starter and the backup has to be big, right? And if it's not, you definitely want to be concerned. And I'm seeing big gaps with everybody else I mentioned here in regards to talent, youth, and opportunity. Well, Joe, you're nuts about Trey Benson. I don't care what you guys think, because I can get him in round 2 and I'm getting the better out of the running backs. I'm not getting the 29-year-old guy who sucked for years. It's that simple. I'm not getting the backups. I'm getting the guys that they were drafted high, put in, and that's who I'm getting. Now, let me give you guys a bonus. Before I do, make sure you guys grab the 16-round draft solution, secure the solution, secure the championship. I've linked it below. Guys, this is going to put you light years ahead of the competition, and grab a ticket to the Fantasy Sports Summit where we're going to have Kyron Williams, Tajay Spears, and Trey Benson at the summit. We're going to talk to them. We're going to ask them questions. We're going to deep dive, okay? It's going to be super exciting. No one's ever done this. Fantasy Sports Summit. It is virtual. Grab your ticket below. I've linked it. You combo with the 16 rounds. That's the best deal you can get, right? Get them both below. Linked it below, okay? Sleepers, breakouts, optimal players draft each round, printable cheat sheet, everything you need. Grab 16 rounds. I recommend the combo. Honorable mention. All right, I'm just going to shout it out. Zamir White. He came out of the draft literally untouched. They didn't bring anybody else. Madison sucks. Madison, again, all these guys are failed RB1s, guys. They never should have been RB1s to begin with. They tried it with Pollard. He sucked. They tried it with Madison. They sucked, right? Connor sucks. Zamir White, man, the guy really came alive at the end of the season. I'm not saying he's number 1 just because he's a bonus, guys. I'm saying that you can get, he's going to finish top 10 potential. He's got that ceiling, and he's RB 23 right now. Dude, value. And this is the year where I might sneak in a top wide receiver in the first 2 rounds to secure that and then get one of these guys later on, okay? Guys, tons of value in this video. This is not your cookie cutter video, all right? I give you guys a ton of value. Take it home with you. These are golden nuggets. And if you want the sleepers, breakouts, dynasty help, everything you guys need, grab 16 rounds. I've linked it below. Hope you enjoyed the show. Just to recap, as guys that can finish as top 10, Trey Benson, Tajay Spears, Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs, Jameer Gibbs, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Breece Hall, and Bijan. Honorable mention as a top 10 finisher, Zamir White. Guys, you got to think outside the box. You can't be looking at last year and just drafting based on ADP, based on last year. You will lose your league. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Guys, I've been doing this for a long time. I know what's up. Subscribe, thumbs up, turn on the bell. Let me know what you guys think in the comment, but really listen to my explanations. Listen to the pitfalls of these guys. Listen to everything that I'm saying. Nobody's perfect. There's nobody that's going to be untouchable. The injuries happen. Things happen. But in your roster, you want a backup plan for a backup plan. That's what I help you guys do with 16 rounds and this channel. Grab the solution below. Bell, thumbs up, comment below. We'll talk in the next video. Top 10 running backs 2024. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk soon.